Hey, Zara. How was your weekend trip to Mexico?
Oh, it was amazing. The food, the people, even just walking around felt so alive. But my Spanish? Yeah, that's a story for another day.
No, you can't say that and not tell me. What happened?
I start speaking, confident, like I've got this. I say something like, yesterday I go to the market and at some point I wasn't even speaking Spanish anymore.
Building the sentence while you're inside it.
Exactly. I tried to keep them short, like my Spanish teacher told me, and I couldn't stop. I just kept going. In the moment, I just forgot everything I learned.
That moment right there is something many experience when learning a language. And it has a name. Yep. What you described, we call it chaining. It's when you start a sentence, but you're not sure how to finish it. So you just keep going. And,
Yes, that's what we talked about in my last Spanish class.
you start a sentence,
But you don't quite know where it's going yet.
and that's the problem. The sentence becomes too long, too heavy, too confusing. You want to stop, but you don't know where.
And the funny thing is, we all do this when we're learning a new language. It's not just me. It's not just Spanish. It can happen in any language when you're learning to speak.
Now, before we learn the technique, we need to understand something important. Why does this happen in the first place? Why do so many learners start with a simple sentence like, I had a nice weekend, but then suddenly continue with, and then, and before they know it, the sentence is out of control. And somewhere in the middle, they completely forget what they wanted to say.
Because when you're a beginner or intermediate learner, your English is growing, which is great, but your brain is also very busy. At the same time, you're searching for vocabulary, thinking about grammar, checking your pronunciation, and sometimes translating in your head. That's a lot.
Exactly. And because of that, learners try to buy time. They keep speaking so no one interrupts them. So they use and, just to hold the conversation while they search for the next word. Also, most learners think the way they speak. And our thoughts, they're not neat. They don't come in perfect sentences. They come as one long, continuous stream.
Yes, so and becomes the easiest solution. Because when you don't know another linking word, you just use and again and again and again.
And then there's another problem. When you try to think about everything at the same time, grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, your brain slows down. So instead of finishing one clear idea, you keep adding more until the sentence just collapses.
But here's the solution. You need to learn the power of stopping. Stop. Take a breath and finish one clear idea completely. And I know this is the part many learners find uncomfortable because they think if I stop speaking, people will think I don't know English. But the opposite is true.
A pause doesn't mean your English is bad. A pause means you are thinking. Even fluent speakers pause. They stop. They breathe. They organize their ideas.
Think about your own language. Do people speak in one long sentence from beginning to end without stopping? Of course not. They naturally break their ideas into smaller parts.
Good speakers don't try to say everything at once. They give the listener one idea, then another idea, then another idea.
And this is where the full stop becomes your secret weapon. It's not just something you use in writing. It's a speaking tool.
When you use a full stop, you're telling your brain, good, that idea is finished. Now, I can prepare the next one.
Now, let's look at some of the benefits, the real advantages of stopping. Because this small change creates big results.
The first advantage is clarity. When you stop after completing one idea, your listener can understand you much more easily. Each sentence carries one clear message. Your listener does not have to wait until the end of a very long sentence to understand your meaning. They don't need to guess what your main point is. Your message stays clear, and your ideas are easier to follow.
The second thing is your grammar becomes easier. When your sentences are shorter, you have more control over your English. You are not trying to remember many grammar rules while creating one long sentence. You can focus on one structure at a time. And because you have less pressure on your brain, you are much less likely to make mistakes. Short sentences protect your grammar.
The third thing is, your speech develops a more natural rhythm. Good speakers do not speak in one continuous stream of words. They naturally create small pauses between ideas. These pauses make your English sound more balanced, more confident, and easier to listen to. Your speech starts to have a professional rhythm.
Another important advantage is thinking time. Every full stop gives your brain a small moment to prepare. You can breathe, organize your thoughts, and choose your next words. Instead of searching for words while speaking and filling the silence with ums, you give yourself time to continue naturally. And finally, confidence. This is the part many learners notice very quickly. When you stop trying to create one perfect long sentence, speaking becomes much less stressful. Instead of thinking, what should I say next? What should I say next? You can simply finish one idea, pause, and continue. Little by little, you feel more control over your words. And those moments start to disappear. So remember this. Clear English isn't about speaking the longest sentence. It's about making your ideas easy to understand.
Okay, Zara. So we've discovered something important here. You're actually better off giving someone two clear sentences they can understand than creating one very long sentence that ends with lots of mistakes, and by the end, you've forgotten what you were even trying to say. And I think many learners know that feeling.
That's true. Now, let's put this idea into practice. This is where the two-sentence rule comes in. And remember, it requires practice. You're training your brain to organize your ideas before you speak. And as you become more confident, learn more vocabulary, and build your collection of useful chunks, you naturally start creating longer and more complex sentences.
Great point, Zara. Can we show our viewers the difference? Because I think seeing this in action will make it much clearer.
Oh, definitely. Let's imagine someone asks you, "What did you do at the weekend?"
A learner who is still developing their speaking skills might sound like this. I went to the city and I met my friend, and we had a meal. No, we had lunch. And then we walked around and it was really nice. And
Now, the important thing is, the problem is not the ideas. The ideas are actually good. You went to the city, you met your friend, you had lunch, you walked around, you had a nice time. Those are all clear ideas. The problem is that everything is trying to come out at the same time.
Right. Now we can see how this works. So now, let's take the two-sentence rule and apply it.
Here is the core idea. First, give one clear idea. Then stop. Take a breath. Then continue with another clear idea.
I went to the city last weekend. I met my friend. We had lunch together.
Oh, much better. Now the listener can follow every step. Let's look at what happened. The process is simple. Sentence 1, state your main fact. I went to the city last weekend. Sentence 2, add one extra detail. I met my friend.
Notice what you did. You didn't connect everything with and. You finished the idea. You closed your mouth. You paused, and then you created another clear sentence.
And remember, you do not need to feel pressure to create long, complicated sentences. People know you are learning a language. Clear communication is always better than a long sentence that becomes difficult to understand.
Absolutely. Short sentences do not make your English weaker. They make your speaking clearer, more accurate, and more confident.
Now let's practice this together with some real examples.
All right, before we start, remember this. We are not trying to speak less. We are not trying to make your English simpler. We are trying to make your ideas easier for people to follow.
For each example, we will first listen to a common learner answer. Listen carefully. Notice the moments where the speaker keeps adding and then and. Then we will use the two-sentence rule to make the message clearer.
Imagine someone asks, "What kind of food do you like?" A common learner answer might sound like this. I love Italian food because it is delicious, and I like pizza and pasta, and my family also likes it, and we usually eat it on weekends, and I make a really good pasta dish.
Now, this learner actually has great ideas. They can talk about their favorite food, their family, when they eat it, and even their cooking skills. The problem is not the ideas. The problem is that everything is coming out at the same time.
Now let's give each idea its own space. Listen, I really love Italian food because it is delicious. My family also enjoys it. We usually eat it on weekends.
Same message, same vocabulary. But now the listener can follow every idea easily. Now imagine someone asks you, "What do you do in your free time?" A common learner answer? In my free time, I play the guitar and I play every evening and it helps me relax and I play with my friend.
You start losing control of the sentence. You carry on adding and. Again, the problem is not vocabulary. The learner knows what they want to say. But notice what happens. They repeat the same word, like play. They lose their rhythm, and they keep adding ideas without giving themselves time to stop. The solution? Give each idea its own sentence. Take a moment, stop, and breathe.
A clearer version? In my free time, I enjoy playing the guitar. I practice every evening because it helps me relax.
Let's improve that sentence right there. Remember, the idea is good, but the and are a bit too much.
And then you can add another idea. My friend also plays guitar. Sometimes we play together. Let's try another example. Someone asks, "What do you do?" A common learner answer. I work as a software developer, and I like my job because it's interesting. And I work with a big team, and we have meetings every morning, and sometimes the work is stressful.
Actually, this is a good answer. The learner has vocabulary. They have useful information. They can communicate. They just need more control over how they organize their ideas.
Try this. I work as a software developer. I like my job because it is interesting. I work with a big team and we have meetings every morning. Sometimes the work is stressful.
Now, someone might ask, what's your morning routine like? A common learner answer. I wake up early and I make coffee. And I take my dog for a walk. And then I come home and I get ready for work.
This is such a common speaking challenge. And again, the learner is not making a terrible mistake. They are communicating. They are simply connecting every idea with one word. And.
Now, let's make it smoother. I wake up early and make coffee. Then I take my dog for a walk.
After that, I come home and get ready for work.
Please remember, every learner goes through moments like this. We are not looking at mistakes to criticize them. We are looking at them so we can find a better way to communicate.
Now, thinking about the examples we just practiced, did you notice something? We did not use difficult vocabulary. We did not add complicated grammar.
We simply gave each idea its own space. A short pause is not a problem. A full stop is not a failure. It helps your listener understand you. Now it's your turn. Let's practice together.
Okay, this is your chance to try it yourself. Remember today's strategy.
One idea. Full stop. Small breath. Next idea.
I'm going to give you 4 questions. For each question, try to answer using 2 or 3 short sentences. And remember, don't worry about creating a perfect answer. This is not a grammar test. The goal is simple. Speak clearly. Organize your ideas. Give your listener time to understand you.
Let's start with question 1, an easy one. What do you usually do after work or school?
Pause the video and answer out loud. Remember, 2 or 3 short sentences. Clear ideas. Pause.
Good. Your answer might sound something like this. I usually relax after work. I spend time with my family. Simple. Clear. Easy to understand.
Here's question 2. Tell us about a place you enjoy visiting.
Think about 3 things. Where is it? What do you do there? Why do you like it?
Now organize your ideas. Remember, you don't need one long answer. Start with 2 short sentences. If you can, add a third. Give your listener one idea at a time. Pause.
Great. Maybe you said, I love going to the park near my house. It is quiet and peaceful. I usually read books there. Notice something important. You did not explain everything in one giant sentence. You gave your listener a clear path. Here's another question. What is one thing you would like to learn in the future? Take a moment. Think about 3 things. What would you like to learn? Why does it interest you? How could you use this new skill? Pause. Excellent. Your answer might sound something like this. I want to learn how to cook Japanese food. It looks very healthy, and I would love to try new dishes. I want to make sushi for my family.
Notice something important. The word and is not the problem. And is a useful linking word. It helps us connect 2 related ideas. The problem is when we use and to keep adding more and more ideas without giving our listener a clear stopping point. Here, and works well because it connects 2 simple ideas. It looks very healthy, and I would love to try new dishes.
It sounds smooth because the two ideas belong together. Finally, let's look at one more question. Tell us about a great day you had recently.
Keep it simple. Think about, what did you do? Who were you with? Why was it special?
Pause one last time. Pause and take your time. Make clear sentences for your listener.
Nice. Every time you practice this way, you are training your brain to create clearer speaking habits. So, what should you remember from today? Speaking clearly is not about saying more. It is about helping your listener understand your ideas. The two-sentence rule gives your brain time to organize and gives your listener time to follow. So don't worry about creating the perfect answer. Start with one clear idea, say it clearly, then continue. Small changes like this can make a big difference to your confidence when you speak.
All right now, before we finish today's lesson, let's remember the big idea. Speaking more fluently does not always mean speaking more.
A short pause is not a problem. It does not mean you don't know English. It simply means you are giving yourself a moment to think and giving your listener a chance to follow your message.
So this week, try this. When you answer a question, don't rush to add everything at once. Finish your idea, pause, then continue. Small changes can create big improvements.
And remember, is not your enemy.
Good news, Zara. Your relationship with is officially over.
Over? Not completely, but we are definitely spending less time together. I'm sure my Spanish will be much better on my next trip to Mexico.
Absolutely. You will. And your Spanish is coming along nicely. You know what? These challenges are the same for many people learning a new language, not just English.
So true. And the big takeaway for me today is this. A pause is not a mistake. It is part of natural speaking.
Exactly. Remember what we said earlier? Fluent speakers do not rush. They organize their ideas, pause, and continue.
All right.
If you enjoyed today's lesson, please support English Shift. Like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode.
And thank you so much for watching. We hope today's lesson helps you speak with more confidence and more control. Remember, progress happens one step at a time.
And we would love to hear from you. Think about today's lesson. What is one topic you find difficult to talk about in English? Maybe it's your job, your hobbies, your daily routine, or telling a story about your weekend. Write your answer in the comments using 2 or 3 clear sentences. We can't wait to see what you write.
And don't forget to check our community posts. We have quizzes for you to practice and check your progress.
That's what we want for you here at English Shift. To help you build clearer English, make steady progress, and see real results when you communicate.
Thanks again for watching, everyone. Keep practicing, one clear sentence at a time.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.